Hello, this is Justin West with Life After Liberal Arts, and I want to talk to you today about the difference between a business and a pyramid scheme. Now, you might be asking, why do I want to talk to you about this anyway? Well, you see, I started a business. I actually have a couple of them. I have my bachelor's degrees in philosophy and history, which are not terribly marketable degrees, so I realized what I needed to do was to learn how to do business, how to grow my business savvy, how to gain business skills, and I thought the best way to do that would be to jump directly into the business market. I run successfully a couple of different businesses. I do them online, I do them from home, I do them just part-time, and they pay the bills and then some, which is nice. However, I've noticed online a recent trend exploding all over the internet towards these pyramid scheme type businesses. And so I wanted to take a minute and discuss the differences between a legitimate business and a lot of these fly-by-night pyramid schemes. Now, first off, I want to talk about a pyramid. A pyramid is not a bad thing in and of itself. In fact, it's the most geometrically solid shape known to man. That's why a lot of ancient buildings took this shape and they're still around to this day. So it's not an anti-pyramid thing. And in fact, legitimate business usually resembles a pyramid as well. Consider your average corporation. You might have a CEO at the top, and beneath him a series of presidents, beneath them a series of vice presidents, beneath them a series of managers, and of course, at the very bottom, the workers. And in this structure, the person at the top is going to make the most money because it's his company, put forth all of the initial risks and investment. And he's got people with a lot of responsibility underneath him, so they're going to make a fair amount as well. The people under them are going to make a fair amount, but less than those above them. And of course, the management's going to make a little bit as well. And of course, the workers, well, they kind of get what's left over. They basically are trading their skill or set of skills and some of their time in a direct one-to-one exchange, whereas everyone else is getting money leveraged off of the ultimate ability of this corporation to push its goods or services and the money that's made from those. So they get a profit share. And so this is what's important about owning your own business as well, is of course, if you're going to own your own business, you want to be making money off of every single sale. Now, don't get nervous when I talk about sales in a home business because every business in the world is based on sales. Everything that's not even a business is based on sales. You know, if you're talking to your girlfriend and you want to get her to go out with you for pizza, you've got to sell her on why that's a better option than staying in and watching reruns of Friends. You have to sell her on that idea. Likewise, if you are an educator, maybe you a teacher and you work in a school, you are in the business of selling education to kids. You are trying to get them to understand the reasons why they need to learn the things that they are supposed to learn. So you are selling them on this idea, even if there isn't money exchanging hands. So what makes the difference between a business and a pyramid? Well, at the end of the day, it's primarily whether or not you actually have a good or a service that's worthwhile apart from the model in which it exists. A pyramid scheme, as opposed to the business model that we just looked at, usually looks something like this. One person gets an idea and he says to three or four other people, you know what? I've got a great way to make money. And if you'll bring me some money, I'll tell you how. So they all buy in and they give him their money. It doesn't matter how much it is. Maybe it's $5, maybe it's $500, maybe it's $5,000. It doesn't really matter. The point is they bring him money in order to get in line with this money-making opportunity. They pay him money for the right to dupe other people to bring them money. And they give some of that money to them and some of that money to the first person. Now, the first person, of course, is made out very, very well, and they're not making out too bad themselves. And then those people that they brought in turn, get to do the exact same thing and just wash, rinse, repeat. It goes over and over and over again. There's no exchange of any worthwhile thing. People are merely getting in line to pay money in order to get other people to get in line to pay money. This cannot perpetuate indefinitely. If for no other reason, consider this. If you just got six people, and they got six people, and they got six people, it wouldn't take you 13 times of this before you had double, essentially, the population of the world. And, of course, that is utterly unsustainable. And, of course, the population of the United States would be reached by about level 11. So after 11 iterations of finding six people, that would be more than the entire market that you have access to. Famously, Bernie Madoff very recently made off with millions and millions and millions of dollars And then he got caught because he was running a very epic Ponzi scheme where basically large corporations were putting in millions and millions and millions of dollars into basically this. They were getting in line without realizing it. So he would get other people to invest millions and millions, and he'd give some of that money to the other people. And he'd keep some for himself. And of course, the people that he gave money to then trusted him, and they went in, and they paid more money, and they got back in line again and again and again and again and again. And eventually, they ran out of people to buy into the system. It just got so unwieldy that they couldn't bring in enough money, and the whole thing collapsed. And it collapsed again because there was nothing of value in the actual business itself. There was no reason to do this other than wanting money. Now, classically, a pyramid scheme might have looked like this. You could have gotten a letter in the mail, and it says something like this, here's the Prosperity Club, and here's a list of 6 people. What I want you to do is send, in this case, a dime to each of the 6 people on this list, and that includes their address. And then you recopy this whole card. You're probably given an extra copy of this as well, and you put yourself down at number 6, and you send it on to 5 or 6 of your friends. They then do the exact same thing. You wind up getting 6 nickels, but they send it to their friends. 6 times 6 is 36, so you would get 36 nickels or dimes or whatever it is that we're trading after this, and so forth and so on until the very end, when you should have, if everybody follows suit, about $1,500. That sure seems reasonable, and certainly a dime or a nickel isn't a whole lot of money. Even $1 wouldn't be that hard for the hope that a handful of people would go ahead and buy into this concept. But at the end of the day, some people see these and just throw them away because they know that they're junk, and they know that they're junk because all you're doing is giving people money for the opportunity to stand in line. So a modern pyramid scheme is very similar in many respects, but a lot of times they're a little bit more tech savvy. I did a little bit of research online. It didn't take very long to find a whole bunch of different websites, all promising you lots of money, lots of opportunities, lots of ways to spend very little, and automated systems that do all the work for you so you don't have to worry about ever having to actually talk to somebody, or actually make a sale, or actually grow in any kind of actual experience. They tell you can fire your boss or fire your sponsor. They'll give you the secrets. Do I need to go on? Well, okay. Here's a few more. One of my personal favorites, the 48-hour cash machine. Here's a guy who basically says, here's exactly how I get loads of cash on demand, and you can do it too. The only way he gets cash on demand is if you sign up and start giving him your cash. And my personal favorite, American Bill Money. I mean, even the name sounds illegitimate. Here's a company that makes a lot of bold promises. They call themselves the king of residual income, and the basic premise of it is this. You are paying in $75 a month to be a member of the American Bill Money Society. And with that comes something like 500 postcards every 6 months that you can send out to your friends and family and complete strangers in hopes that they will buy in $75 a month into this program, in order to get the postcards to get other people to buy into the program, to buy the postcards, to buy into the program, etc., etc. And for every person you bilk into spending $75 a month, the company is going to give you some of that money. Now, they'll tell you that this is legitimate. They'll tell you the reason it's legitimate is because they're actually selling you these postcards and this communication system and whatnot. But it's just, if there was no business attached to this, you wouldn't buy it. And that's the really big lesson here. If they promise you big money and they promise you that there's no effort, then generally speaking, you should run. Seriously, if it were really that easy, wouldn't everyone already be doing it? A lot of these companies hide behind the notion of offering you some sort of a unique technological advance that's worth the money, some system that makes or legitimizes the amount that you have to pay per month. But in that last example, you're spending nearly $1,000 a year for the opportunity to get people to stand in line, and spend $1,000 a year to get the opportunity to get the people to stand in line. And that's my point. Now, this doesn't mean that there are no legitimate business opportunities or even online business opportunities out there, but the thing you have to look at is the good or the service that's actually being exchanged. If it's just the opportunity to stand in line and get money, then it is a scam, and there's no way around it. If you'd like to know more about a couple of different business opportunities that might be legitimate, you can feel free to look on the website or drop me a line. I do have a couple businesses that I run myself. Otherwise, I hope you found this informative. Feel free to leave me a comment, and I'll talk to you later.